Hey guys, I'm Scott Lott, and this week we're going to be working on 3 more easy build airplanes. Last set of videos we did an F-22, F-18, and Su-35. We're doing a new set. If you'd like to purchase pre-release PDF plans for the airplanes that you saw last week, go to the sidebar and there's a link to a thread in RC Power's forum, and you can pick up the pre-release plans for $7.99. Now on to the 3 new airplanes. We have the F-18, F-35, and MiG-29. The airplanes here conform to the same standard that we've done before: 1 sheet of day prom, 2 servos, 1 carbon spar, keeping it real simple. Now, in the future, if you'd want to get one of these and put like a park jet or mega jet motor on it, or do ailerons or air brakes or fronterons, you could definitely do that because all of these have a very high wing area. So we're moving on the low end of the wing area as far as, you know, a very light airplane. You could definitely increase the weight by 10, 15 ounces because they're only 10 ounces and they'd still handle everything just fine. So I think we're gonna try the F-35 first because that one's my favorite. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this thing has been flown already, so I kind of already know what's gonna happen, which is why we're starting off with it. In case you haven't noticed, we're now using high definition video with a Canon HG10 that I recently purchased. This Canon is excellent. I spent months doing research on a new camera. Check out this guy. All right. Nice spin rear end. Way to go. As soon as you're done, guys. Oh, he's jumping. Hang on. Now he's done. All right. Anyway, we've got a Canon HG10. I spent months doing research on a good high-definition camera specifically for this purpose. I'll more than likely be doing a product review of it later, but for now, just enjoy the extremely high clarity versus the old video that we had. Now, as I've said, I've already flown this airplane, and I'm already very happy with its performance. It's a lot like the F-22. It wants to fly itself. You're not looking at a real high required skill level. The roll rate is actually a little bit better on this airplane than the others because the wings are narrower. More narrow, I don't know. That's what I get for shaving the concrete. This plane is a lot of fun. So far, one of my favorites. All right, next we're doing the MiG-29. Now you'll notice this plane looks a lot like Dave's, and honestly, I did take a lot of aspects from his. Most notably though, the plane's been scaled down slightly and the wings have been narrowed. The reason I narrowed the wings is to increase roll authority. The problem with using just ailerons is you get almost 0 roll authority, especially if your wings are way out here, keeping you from rolling. So I cut them in half, and now the plane will twirl easily off of just the ailerons, so you don't need ailerons to get good control. So far, it's been working pretty good. Here we go. Right, the first thing I'm noticing about this model is it slips through the air a lot easier than the F-35 does. It doesn't have nearly the drag, so I'm only flying around at half throttle and it's doing it quite easily. Once again, I am running a 2-cell just like I did on the F-35 to keep the speeds low for these videos. Let's see what kind of pitch authority it has. My hunch is it's probably going to be a pretty good thrust vectoring. You ready, Sean?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
You see how sharp that was? And it didn't flare out of the maneuver either. Let's see what kind of roll authority it has. That's where the narrowing of the wings comes in. You see how solid that was? That was done on purpose, very intentionally. This thing just flies so nice. Just because it's so maneuverable with just the tailor on. Look at that. Very successful prototype. I don't think this one needs any tweaking. It's nearly perfect. We're really taking advantage of the fact that Dave and myself have already tested the dimensions on a lot of these airplanes, and we already know how big the stabilizers need to be, how big the wings need to be, how everything needs to go together to make the airplane fly well. Working off of those numbers, we've made some very successful airplanes without a whole lot of testing. Very happy with this model. Excellent. All right, this is test flight number 1 of the F-18. Had a little bit of trouble with this one off camera, so I hope it worked its problems out. Okay, very nice, as Dave puts it. Flying just a little nose heavy. And the roll is real sluggish. I might narrow the wings up just a little bit more. Problem with the F-18 is it's just a real wide airplane. I can't get away with narrowing them up too much without the airplane looking real dorky. You certainly don't want that. I mean, it's responsive enough. Here's a loop. I think I set a roll. It's reasonable. That was a close call. I'm not used to that truck being there. It's really the advantage of having this 6x4 prop though. You've got the acceleration to push yourself up and out of trouble if you need to. Very nice. Another nice easy build. As you can see, the 2-cell 1000 milliamp isn't exactly a crawler. Another nice easy build park jet. Keep in touch and I'll post the pre-release PDF plans for this one as well as the other two very soon since they're a success right off. Couple small changes, nothing big though. See ya. Mr. Cameraman Sean, what did you think of the HG-10?
I like it. I want the HG-21.
The HG, why? Why do you want the HG-21, Sean?
120 gigabytes.
120, as opposed to what?
The 40 that's in there.
So what you're saying is the 5 hours of high definition video recording just isn't enough for you?
No, I'm lazy. I don't feel like uploading to the computer. So.
Even though it's just a file transfer like copying pictures?
Yeah, I'm lazy. I told you.
You're ridiculous, Sean.
Yes, I know.
This is a man that never gives up. He keeps on wanting more. And I have to pay him. Quick, everybody feel sorry for me.